The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. Clock is ticking. And when it hits zero, the world as we know it could change forever. Donald Trump has issued what he calls his final warning to Iran, 48 hours until hell arrives. Those are his words, not mine. He wants Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz and come to the table on his terms or face a level of destruction he says Iran has never seen. But before you take that threat at face value, let me give you the context. Because if you have been watching closely, you know that Donald Trump has been moving his deadline around for 6 weeks. He first threatened Iran in early March. He gave a short window then, 48 hours. He extended it again after a cabinet meeting. Then he pushed it to 5 days. And then he said 10 days. Now the 10-day countdown is due. And what is he doing? He is repackaging it. He's calling it 48 hours to make it look like a fresh, new destiny, a brand new ultimatum, when in reality it is just final countdown of an old expired deadline that he has dramatized to sell to the American people. We remember this man gave this deadline. And each time the deadline is due, he finds something to say. A senior Iranian military official responded to this new ultimatum by calling it what it is. And I am quoting here. A helpless, nervous, unbalanced, and stupid action. End of quote. Iran has not blinked once since this started. And while Donald Trump is busy issuing these repackaging deadlines from behind a screen, let me show you what actually happens when America tries to operate on Iranian soil. Because this story tells you everything about whether the U.S. can actually back up these threats.
We had the war in Iran, and now this, which is disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful, coming from our U.S. president. This is the sort of thing, I hate to say it, that you would expect to be introduced in a war crimes tribunal in the future.
Yeah.
David Rode, who was just on with us, sent one of our producers his reaction to this tweet. This will offend Iran's hardline jihadist leaders. It doesn't frighten them. Bullying religious extremists who want to become martyrs doesn't work. He says he's witnessed this in Afghanistan and Iraq.
Laura, I know we're supposed to be talking about who the next attorney general is going to be, but this right here from the president of the United States, were it anyone else, we would be talking about the 25th Amendment. People in Congress would be raising hell. And why do I get the feeling that neither one of those things is going to happen?
So it's Easter Sunday, and President Trump made this post on social media that was filled with profanity. He threatened to bomb Iran's infrastructure, warning that Iran will be living in hell if they don't reopen the Strait of Hormuz by Tuesday night. Now, experts warn that destroying civilian infrastructure could be a war crime under international law. And here's what's striking. When Trump was asked today whether he is concerned that the people of Iran could suffer if civilian infrastructure is targeted, the president said, no, they want us to do it, arguing that the people of Iran are currently living in hell. Now, I spoke to a former Pentagon official under the first Trump administration, Mick Mulroy, and he says that if the U.S. takes up this escalation, it could turn this into a total war where no target is off limits. He also makes the point that this could turn the Iranian people against us, when part of the whole point of going into this war, the administration has said, was to help the Iranian people. But the context here is that the president has issued these threats and ultimatums to Iran multiple times, saying that they have to comply in 48 hours, reopen the Strait of Hormuz, or he will attack energy infrastructure. That delay has been repeatedly pushed back, so we'll see what happens by Tuesday night.
Tuesday will be power plant day and the bridge day all wrapped up in one in Iran. There will be nothing like it. Open the effing strait, you crazy bastards, or you will be living in hell. Just watch. Praise be to Allah, President Donald J. Trump. 2 more weeks. I need 2 more weeks of Strait of Hormuz being shut down, and you American people will feel it right here. I asked people in Texas, what is the highest price of gasoline has ever gotten? They said right now. It has never been as expensive as right now. If this is how you are in United States, which is on the other side of the planet, can you imagine what the people are going through in the Philippines, in Vietnam, in South Korea, in Japan, in China, in Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, all those countries? They're going to start bidding. They're going to outbid for American oil to go to their countries instead of to United States. 2 more weeks. That's all it takes. If the Strait of Hormuz closes right now, April 5th, mid-April, 10 days is enough for me. And you will feel it right here in the United States. Donald Trump has only one way out. And that's just to fucking walk. Just walk away from it. I'm done. I don't have no problem with the Iranian people or government. God bless you. I accomplished my goals. That's it. Just walk. If he doesn't walk, and he will not walk because of Netanyahu. He can't leave Netanyahu alone. He's Netanyahu's bitch. If he walks right now, he wins. As much as I hate to say, Netanyahu wins. If he walks right now. But if he stays and he escalates, I told you before, and I'm going to say it again, Iran will burn down every single oil terminal, every single oil tanker, every single gas field. Qatar gas field is non-operational for another 5 years. Minimum 3 years. It's going to take them 3 years to fix. Every single oil field, there's no oil coming out of Middle East for 5 years. For 5 years. If he walks right now, he can cut his losses. If he escalates, praise be to Allah, what you will see will shock you. Peace.
The recent speech that he gave, he told us they have neutralized everything. They have flattened everything. There is nothing that is left to hit, but we are still seeing different stories underground. To rescue just one man, a weapons system officer, the United States lost or destroyed at least 6 aircraft, 1 F-15 shot down, 1 A-10 Warthog lost, 2 MC-130G transport plane blown up by the Americans themselves. They got struck. 1 Little Bird helicopter and 2 Black Hawks hit. They spent so much firepower into Iran that they created a massive debris field. Iranian media is now broadcasting footage of this wreckage across the Ashvan province with a 4-word headline that should send a chill down the spine of the Pentagon. Tabas has been repeated. Tabas has been repeated. For those who don't know history, Tabas was the site of the 1980 Operation Eagle Claw failure. Iran is telling the world that 46 years later, America still cannot operate on their own soil without leaving a trail of destroyed planes in the sun. There is a saying in that part of the world. He set out to fix the eyebrow but ended up blinding his own eyes. That is exactly what is happening here. Trump needed a win so badly that he sacrificed more equipment and credibility in the rescue than he lost in the original shutdown. But this same man, in a recent video that is circulating, told them that they need to do something in Iran. There's going to be a war. That was 1987. So we need to understand that before these people do something, they have already planned. But as they are there showing the world how they are winning, they are also not showing them how they are losing, how they are destroying things. Because when they tell you that this and that is no more by Iran, they are the same people who come out and find means and ways to cover up. So Americans are not aware of what is actually happening on the ground. Each time the time that is given is almost coming to an end, he will either come out and tell the world that it's rather Iran that is begging for a ceasefire. Iran will come out to tell us it is not true. When he gave the 5 days ultimatum and the time was just approaching and we're all expecting him to do, he came out and told the world that Iran has agreed to a ceasefire, and then he and the Ayatollahs are now running the Strait of Hormuz. And then he went ahead to tell us that there is somebody in Iran among the leaders because there is a regime change, and for that matter, they are not ready to obey the rules and regulations of the United States of America. But Iran has always repeatedly said they will never sit down for a 250-year civilization to control them, that they were born freely, and so they would die freely. That was when they threatened the foreign minister, Abbas Arghakchi. And he made it clear, he doesn't fear death, that Iranians are ready to die to protect their land, because they believe that they need to die freely, because they came into this world freely. And these are the things Africans we need to be learning, instead of us watching and believing that there are people who need to come to the aid of the African and we cannot survive. And for that matter, we need to always throw our power away and be bowing down to people who are oppressing us, because we believe that without them, we can never survive on our own. This is a narrative the African must do away with. There is nobody that can come into this continent to set us free if we ourselves are not ready to fight. Now we are waiting as the time is almost catching to see the next action, because we know Oga has been saying things. The first time he said Iran has been neutralized. Another time he will come out and tell us that Iran or the Iranians are smart people. And then he was the same person who said Iran did not hit their aircraft when Iran said so. Finally, he came out admitting that Iran was the one who did that. And Johnny, we have to run for our lives, because it was just who every 32 seconds from 17 different angles. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall. And united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we'll make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world and in the United States of America.